What is up, everybody? It is Alex, the Boogeyman Extraordinaire, here at Title Boxing Club in Rochester, New York. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving, wonderful weekend. Maybe you did some holiday shopping this weekend, right? You got Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We got deals going on in here too, but hopefully you got something nice for the people in your life that you love, your friends and family. Now, if you did, or even if you didn't, right, we don't want to tell our friends or family what we're getting them for Christmas or whatever. We don't want to let them know. We want it to be a surprise, right? It makes it more fun. You open them on Christmas morning under the tree, right? Same as true when we box. We have gifts that we give our opponents, right? We give our opponents gifts. They're called punches, but we don't want to tell them what gift we're giving them. If we tell them, then not only will they not be surprised, but they'll start to make preparations. They'll start to talk about how to defend it, or maybe how to hit us first. So we don't want to do that. We want to make sure our opponent does not know what punch is coming until it's already being delivered, until Christmas morning. So there's two ways that we see people give away their presents in boxing, right? Number one is just ancillary, unnecessary movement. It's kind of a natural thing. Sometimes we just add extra stuff that we don't need. Most common example is with the jab. We see this, and I mean, you see this from boxers as well. All right, what am I doing? I'm dropping my hand for some reason before I throw my jab. Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Is that important? Is that important? I'm using it as a fake? Well, we'll talk about that later. But for now, right, if I'm just throwing a jab, no, I don't need any extra movement. All I need to do is just throw it from my cheek. Same with my cross, right? Same thing with any punch, right? You don't need that extra movement that isn't part of the punch because your opponent will start to tell. This is something I know I harangue you guys about a lot. It's another opportunity. If you turn your elbow out before you throw a straight punch, a jab or a cross, right? That's not necessary. You don't need to do that until the very end, if at all, right? But you're telling them, here comes a punch. This is what I'm getting for Christmas. Hope you like it. I forgot to save the receipt. No, don't do that. Keep the elbows in. Don't extra things so they can't see those punches coming. Now, the other type of thing that people do to advertise their punches is a very natural human thing. It's actually your own brain trying to help you out, trying to be nice, right? It's called preparatory movement, or I call it preparatory movement. I don't know what other people call it. It's anything to prepare yourself to throw the punch with your hands. You can't do that because it tells them what you're throwing. It's the most common example, and you see this not just in boxing, you see this on the street. Someone's gonna walk up and throw a punch, boom, right? I'm pulling, I'm winding up, right? You can tell I'm gonna throw my right hand if I pull back. We don't wanna do that when we throw across. We don't want any extra pull back to throw it. You don't need it. Your body thinks you might need it, but you don't. You can learn how to throw a powerful cross just straight from your face without that extra wind up. We see this on hooks as well. People bring their hand way out here, way behind them, right? You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You don't need to bring your hand way out here to prepare for the hook because you can start to turn the hook and then bring that elbow out, release that hand. We see this a lot, and I mean a lot, on uppercuts and body shots. And again, this is human nature, right? Your brain's trying to help you out. So let's say the combination is double jab, uppercut, right? The rear uppercut. So your brain's like, okay, double jab, we're gonna throw that right uppercut. So I'm gonna start to drop my hand so it's ready to throw. Fortunately, my opponent sees this, they now know I'm giving them an uppercut for Christmas. They're gonna beat me to the punch and throw a hook, give me that hook on Christmas Eve. I don't want that. So instead I wanna keep it by my cheek and I don't drop it until I'm actually delivering the punch. But there's no preparatory movement to do it. That'll keep it a nice surprise. Body shot, same thing, right? If I'm gonna throw like a jab, cross, liver shot, I don't wanna go jab, cross, and then look, here's my left hand down there. You can tell I'm gonna throw that liver shot. So instead, I'm gonna keep it close, and I'm not gonna release it until the very end. And this is good for you too. If you decide not to throw a liver shot, you're not so committed because your hand's not way down there. So we're gonna eliminate that preparatory movement. You could use preparatory movement with your legs, with your knees for sure. Like if I know I'm gonna throw an uppercut, maybe double jab, I might start to get a little bit lower. That's fine. If it gives it away, it gives it away. But it's not as big a deal as this because at least I'm not wide open. Plus, and we've talked about this a million times, you think you need that extra power with your arm swing, you don't necessarily. You learn to use your body, you're able to throw an uppercut just as hard without dropping your hands at all. If you don't believe me, ask Mike Tyson. So, whether you're getting gifts for your family, for your friends, your loved ones, for the holidays, or whether you're throwing a punch, you don't want to let them know what's coming. We want to keep it a nice little surprise for our friends, family, loved ones, and opponents. We're going to work on that this week. And yeah, we might even get into a little 4D chess, right? Maybe you put like things inside the box that aren't part of the present, so your opponent, or your friend, your family, your loved one shakes it, and they think, oh, there's something wobbling around in there. But it's just a trick. We can do that with our hands too. It's a little advanced. But for instance, let's say I throw that double jab uppercut again. Maybe my opponent doesn't know how disciplined I am. So I start to drop that hand on the uppercut, but then immediately throw a cross before they have a chance to throw that lead hook, right? Or we saw this in the UFC a couple weeks ago, someone bring their hand out here, throw a hook, the other person started to prepare for the hook, and then cross right down the middle, or an uppercut right up the middle, right, to catch them trying to deal with that hook. So that's a little extra where we can kind of pretend like we don't know what we're doing to fake out our opponent. But most importantly, let's just make sure we can clean it up and get those fundamentals down of not doing any extra movement and not telegraphing those punches, because that, my friends, is how we don't do it, and then also how we do it.